Hello and welcome to Mythic Strike, the new mod by Retold. Legendary map maker, community helper, it's been around forever. He's ported this on request from myself and a few others. It's a mod that came from Warcraft 3 and before that Starcraft 2, which I believe it was based on Castle Fight that came from Warcraft 3 before that. I first played it as Castle Fight in Warcraft 3, also known as Nexus Wars in Starcraft 2. But I guess if you're familiar with it, you're familiar with it. And if you're not, this might be brand new, whatever it's called. So now it's called Mythic Strike, and it functions relatively the same. And the first thing that you want to do in those maps, as always, is get some income. If you have not played before, you don't know what that means. Let me explain. You don't have villagers in this map except for this guy, who does not gather resources. He only creates units. I'm playing Norse, so I get every Norse unit. Doesn't matter what your major god is, as long as your major god that you picked outside the game is one of the Norse ones, you can get every major god technology, every minor god technology from Norse. You can build every unit. So what happens after you build a unit here in this rectangle is it gets spawned in this rectangle. So Teal also started with a Berserk. And every so often, I think it's 45 seconds, something like that, I'm the next spawn. 2, 1. The Berserk that I spawn will, that I built, gets created here and will run to the other side of the map and attack anybody that he sees. I'm going to grab another income. So this says plus 40 base income, increases the base gold income by 40 per minute. And you'll see in the top right, went from 240 to 280. No bonus at 20%. What does that mean? If you cross this middle line, because your units have beaten the enemy units, you get an additional 20% more gold on top of your base income. So we'll see if the enemy built any units. They did not. So I go from 280 to 336. I guess that's 20%, yes. If I click this button for plus 20% more base income, my bonus gets doubled. My unit was just killed, so I lost that bonus, and spending 100 on that right now is not a very good idea. I'm going to start upgrading more base income. I think the best strategy for this mode is actually not to build any units for a while and just keep upgrading your base income, because as you see, that didn't last for very long. However much it was, it has to be worth more than 100 to upgrade this part of it. So to be worth 100 off of 320 at 20%, which I think it was 64 or something like that. Yeah, I think it was 64. You'd have to have a unit in the enemy side for about 2 minutes. Yeah, 64. So I guess as the seconds go on, we're getting there, but as they build units, we won't. I think that just increasing your base income at the start is the best way to go. I'm not a master strategist of this game. I've only played a few times, as has anybody. This is map version 18, which I think is still kind of qualified as being in beta. It might be out of alpha. In alpha mode, you just built Petsuchos, they outranged the towers, and you just kind of won the game. Now, you can have a relatively balanced game. I think there's still more changes to be made. Direct Strike in Warcraft 3 is on, tens of versions forward, and this game's going to require that as well. So these towers are not your base game towers. These are 2,375 hit point towers that deal a ton of damage. Let's see if I can check it out. That's 60 pierce damage per second. So they will annihilate any small amount of units. So what I'm going to do, this is in Direct Strike in Warcraft 3, it's a very bad idea to just go full gold mine. That game is a little more figured out than this one, and most people will tell you you do not go straight gold mine. That is throwing the game. You value the bonus gold basically. But in that game, if your unit dies, you don't lose your bonus. It's whoever was in the arena last. So you want to be super aggressive. And also, that bonus helps your whole team. In Mythic Strike, it's your unit that gets over. If it dies, That's only your bonus or your detriment. No detriment. It actually goes back to neutral. But, oh, I'm going to get more gold. Here we go. 600 is the next one. That seems like a lot, but they are not pushing down our tower no matter what, and I don't value the bonus gold that highly right now, so I'm going to go for more base gold. There's also no cooldown on this. In Direct Strike, there is a cooldown on it. I have a feeling that this might get changed in the future, but this is the current version I'm playing on. This is the strategy I'm going to take. I've never gotten the 850 bonus income. It still only increases by 40. I might actually start making units now. That might be the way to go. So he's got Einherry. You want to build units that are basically good against what your opponent is making, which is the same wave on the same line as you. So when my units come out, I'm facing blue. I need to watch what blue is making. So I can ignore all of this because these guys are getting killed by the tower. Teal has to deal with red. He should really be beating his wave, so I'm not facing the red wave. And blue's units will be about here and walking across because that's where my units were. And then we will see what he's making and what we need to defeat. Blue has one priest, so he is doing a income-heavy game just like I was. So we don't know what he's making yet. Let's take a look what we can make. Berserks, Throwing Axemen, Raiding Cavalry. If we go to H2, Herdman, Huskarl, Jarl, Troll, Einherry, Valkyrie, Draugr, Herser. So he's making heroes. He's going to be hero savvy. He's aware of how that works. We can either focus on Berserks right now, I would say, or we can just go up and get some Jarls, but let's make a whole bunch of Berserks. And they will come out exactly like this. So this was very poor placement. I just kind of felt like doing it that way. And you can reposition them with this donkey button. You want to put your ranged units in the back. Norse don't have too many of those, but if I ever get one, I want to be able to put them in the back. And this ball is really bad in case they get any AoE attacks, but my ball... Oh, my spawn is next. I'm going to make as many Berserks as I can until my spawn comes out. 2, 1, okay. And now I think I'm going to save for the next age. And even if I wasn't making any Jarls, I would want to do this so I can upgrade my Berserks. The upgrades available to us now are none. In age 2, I can get medium infantry and copper weapons. In age, in following ages, if I get the medium infantry, I can get heavy infantry and so forth. And then we'll check out the mythic technologies in a second. I want to see how these guys do. I put a lot of units on the field. He has medium spearmen. Now, a Berserk beats a spearman, I'm pretty sure. Especially under the tower fire. And blue has started with the Petsuchos. I have to be very anti-Petsuchos because Petsuchos are very dangerous. I said in previous versions that you just masked them and they outrange the towers and you won. Ranged units in general in this game are still very good, even if they don't outrange towers. You bunch them up at the back. Once you get a wave going, it doesn't stop. So my units have survived. I'm helping Gray with his wave. Not a ton, but it was something. And that's what I want to be doing. You want your units to be helping your opponent, your allies' units in the next wave. So let's see what temple upgrades I can get. I can already get Hamask, Hammer of Thunder. I can get... I'm going to go full Berserk just for fun. I mean, I don't know if that's the best strategy, but my opponent is making Petsuchos. I feel like he's going to mask them. Maybe he played on previous versions. I'm going to get Pierce Armor upgrade and Medium Berserk to start off. I'm not going to get this right away. Sorry about that. I just got a phone call. So now we see I have not built anything else. I have a bit more income. The Petsuchos are lining up. The Petsuchos are massing. This troll is helping out, but they're just going to dominate me. He's got too many Petsuchos. I need some heroes in front to take Petsuchos hits. And the Norse's only option is Hersers. champion upgrade does not help them. But the pierce armor upgrade I got will. But the first thing we want to do is get a mass of Herser before we get any more upgrades. And it's my fault if the Petujos amass, because blue is my wave. Looks like gray is taking out the residuals along with that tower pretty nicely. And different from Direct Strike in Warcraft 3, when this tower gets destroyed, a god power will be played on the field to help us out. In StarCraft 2, you had a giant Ultralisk or something, I think it was, that came out. We get restoration from that first tower. I believe the next ones are Hailstorm, the new god power from one of Freyr's minor gods. I think it was Uller. And then back here we get Lightning Storm. And then finally this one has a pretty cool god power that I will let you see as it comes on. I was pretty amazed by it when I first saw it. Okay. We're beating them back. He's got a ton of heroes. I had some frontline heroes to soak it. Now what do we do next? Check out these upgrades. Cave Trolls I don't need. Speed is actually good. Hit points of heroes I'm going to take right away. If I'm just going berserks, I want speed. It's nice. It's not super necessary, but it's relatively cheap. I'm just going to get it. Okay, we had a resigning due to connection loss. We'll call this a beta. Which player was that? Eskis. That was blue. That was the guy with all the Petsukos. That's unfortunate for their team. That might result in a resounding victory for us, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully the game stops his spawn, and we just kind of continue on as normal, but we'll see what it does. So let's see, in Age 3, which I'm not in yet, I can get Swine Array, which is good for Herdman. Berserk hit points return favor. I don't think that actually does anything for us. Jarl bonuses, Rock Giants in general are amazing. Throwing Axemen, Jotuns. So all these cool Berserk upgrades that really make you very powerful are from the Age 4, it looks like. And there's usually an Age 5. That's weird. Is that a bug? No, that's just the text. Yeah, there's no Age 5 text for Norse, but you can make a Nidhogg for 1,000 gold or a Titan for 5,000. I don't see that blue has made any units. Hopefully they're not just sitting back there in the rectangle. I think the polite thing to do would be to spam more units so that we win faster. I'm not in Age 3 yet to really make very powerful siege units. I think I should do that so that we can kind of power them down if they allow us to. And if not, it will help us anyway. Although I say that and we're actually losing, so maybe Blue's wave is not going. I would say Blue's wave is not going. We need a mountain giant. We need a rock giant to tank for us. I mean, my Hersers helped a lot to tank there. Gray's hero Arcus have been amazing so far. We just need more heroes, I think. I'm gonna make a lot more Herser. Herser. Okay. That was only 3 of them. See, this is why I got that income in the beginning. It's very hard to save up 850 now that we're trying to just win. So now Bronze Shield is available. Heavy Infantry is available. If I'm going to forget about Berserks until Age 4, I'm not going to get Heavy Infantry. I do want Bronze Shields, but that doesn't protect against the Divine damage. Their divine damage is, it says 5 times less. It's actually 4 times less than the pierce damage, which I know because I researched them pretty heavily. They do 40 pierce and 10 divine, despite what the tooltip says. Yeah, they're just going to push us back, but hopefully when they get to the tower, they get pushed back themselves. So the question is, do I get another 40 income for 850 gold, which is going to take forever to pay itself back, or do I just save up? I think at this point I just either save for age 4, which gets me Fenris Wolfbrood, Fire Giants. Fire Giants are amazing. Hero of Ragnarok for 120. Or Herser for 120. Which one is better? That I don't know. That I do not know. I want to find out. We're going to save up 1,000 and find out which one is better in real time. I would think that if they're an age later, they are just straight better. They're both infantry. There's no population cost in this game. Herser benefit from more myth technologies, like the one that makes their hammer bigger. Let's see. Yeah, so they'll benefit from Avenging Spirit, which I need age 4 for anyway. But I think they're dying so fast, and I really mostly need them for health. Oh, Tempest it's called, not Hailstorm. So I would think that if Herser cost the same amount and can be upgraded by more myth technologies, and they're from a previous age, that the Heroes of Ragnarok would tank better and have better base stats. Let's see. Okay, we froze some of those guys. That's pretty helpful. We'll get a Hero of Ragnarok going when we can. Come on, towers. Are they... I don't even see any arrows coming out. Oh, there's arrows coming out. Oh, this bottom one is doing the burning oil onto the rock giant, which it can't really defeat so well. Okay. I want to show you guys the god power, but I also want to see my Hero of Ragnarok. 130 left. I'm going to compare them, but it doesn't seem that strong. And this Lightning Storm power, I would say probably also in future versions might get buffed, because it, as you can tell, it doesn't really defend you enough against the army that is built up by this time with 3 players constantly stacking ranged units. More reinforcements coming along. Alright, let's compare this guy. 127, 150, 28, 24, 20, 25. More hack armor, but probably less hack survivability. Slower movement speed. Way smaller multiplier on attack. The Hero of Ragnarok is pointless to make in the current version. I will have to send in a note about that. Since we're here, we can either get some God Myth techs. Let's do that. Or I could make more Hersers. Let's get some Myth techs. We have to buff our Hersers. Herseer? Herseers or Hersers? I would think that Huskarls are also good against Petsuhos, but probably not amazing. Human soldiers, 10% more hit points. We need hit points. These are my guys coming out. It just seems kind of pathetic compared to this giant enemy army. I just spent 1,000 gold on age 4, which has kind of put me behind. Alright, didn't even get one. This Underworld Passage does have an attack. In previous versions it didn't, but this is also now helping us fight them off. I think Lightning Storm thinned them out. So we're going to keep making Hersers, I think. Well, I know that's what I'm going to do. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. But I need a bunch more Hersers. And I don't think that the armory upgrades are the way to go. I think I just need more. I'm pretty sure Hersiers get upgraded in each age forward you go through. I'm not 100% confident on that. I know it happens in age 2. I think that going to age 4 also gave them a stats upgrade, but I'm not 100% confident. Alright, so now our Underworld Passage has taken some damage. We get Eclipse and Flaming Weapons. We get an offensive God Power suite. That is not me. We got another Lightning Storm. We got a Tornado. If we push back, it's going to be hard for the Petsuchos player to get his stack of Petsuchos back. And we are pushing back with Hero Arcus and my gigantic front line of very upgraded Hersiers. Hersiers. Hersier. Hersier? 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 Hersiers. I'm gonna go with Hersiers for now. It doesn't seem so gigantic once they come out, but they each cost 120. They are pretty valuable units. I've upgraded their attack and their HP quite a few times. They've got Avenging Spirit, Hall of Thanes, Srusmrmr. I guess they don't count as human soldiers for Freyr's Gift. I thought that they would. I guess they don't. But we have a full army of heroes against basically a full army of myth units. They've got a few throwing axemen, which are good counters to us, to me. But there's only like 5 of them. So I think in general, we've got the right idea. Let's get more of these guys. So what you want is a strong enough army that is just going to defeat the tower, and despite lightning storms getting thrown at you and tornadoes getting thrown at you, it's not going to get pushed back. So we've got rock giants, which get melted by our heroes, which is the idea. Spearmen. He should really be making axemen because my front line is all infantry, and my front line is kind of the front line at the moment. Everyone else is kind of making back line. Spearmen are good anti-cavalry, and axemen are the anti-infantry. This guy's got some Hersiers as well. Fire giants. Did I make a fire giant yet? I don't think so. I wanted at least one, but Teal has them. We're fine. That is good against any kind of human unit frontline. If you get a couple of them, it should melt a wave of human unit frontline. Feeling pretty good about this, but my Hersiers do disappear in between waves. It's letting the hero Arcus build up. But I'm still not totally thrilled with them. I might want to go for those armor upgrades now. His Pierce armor is only 28%. We are going to save up for some very expensive Pierce armor upgrades. 500. I think at this point, with this number of Hersiers that I have, it could be worth it. Yeah, this is my stack. I usually have a more interesting stack with some ranged units behind, but I've been doing different things. I just wanted to go full berserks actually, but I wasn't really allowed to by my enemies. That would kind of be throwing the game at this point. Once we get over this line, which we should, I'm definitely going to go for this now, because we're going to be there for a while. These fights are taking a while, and if it takes us longer to get to their towers and for them to push us back, that's going to make that quite worth it. The longer that we spend in their zone. And... Alright. I think we had like 28 armor before. What do we have now? They're already dead. He does have throwing axemen too. But he's got 28. So how much do I have now? 35. Doesn't feel great, but they are there to counter the pierce damage, so that is what they will do. I'm going to get copper armor too. And copper weapons. They're just so cheap. That's going to be the right play, is to get copper weapons next, because iron shields cost 900. I could get to Mythic Age, or I could get iron shields. I mean, I'm already in Mythic Age, actually. I saved up the 100 for that, didn't I? Wonder Age costs 2,000. I definitely want copper weapons now. 22.4 attack. These guys are looking pretty beefy. I wish they got Freyr's gift, but c'est la vie. They're looking pretty beefy, but they're also being attacked a lot. I think I should throw some cavalry in, just to mess with those throwing axemen. And what better cavalry than a Jarl? I think they'll have better hack armor than a raiding cavalry. My options later on just get improved to myth units and siege. Myth units and siege, myth units, I feel like they'll just get focused down by heroes and Petsuchos. Although I do have the run rock giant, he's not getting instantly killed or anything like that. I want more Jarls, just for those throwing axemen. Rock giants didn't last that long under fire. I don't know if anything will under fire. Their ball is getting bigger and bigger. They are pushing us back. The Petsuchos are amassing. Our hero Arcus, you would think, could kill human units very fast as well, but... And they do. And they attack faster than Petsuchos. I don't know why we're not pushing back. As heroes, they should be able to kill myth units very fast. They already kill human units very fast. It could just be these rock giants. Look how long it takes Cursors and Hero Arcus to kill a rock giant. Maybe I need to make rock giants. They cost more... Well, they cost less than a battle boar. I would hope that the cheaper Hersiers, with all the upgrades I gave them, could tank more than a rock giant, but I don't know. We're losing. That's what I know, is that we're losing. I wish I had a god power that I could use against this, but if they made a better army composition, they deserve to push us back. That is the goal of the game. We could not kill their front line fast enough. They killed my front line fast enough. It could be... I don't want to be that guy that just blames his allies. It could be that my allies did not have enough front line. He's making fanatics. Not the tankiest of units. It could be that my allies didn't make enough front lines as well, so we got pushed back. They've got Huskarls. I guess Hersiers are just not good against Huskarls, and neither are Hero Arcus. Making some rock giants and some Jarls to diversify. I'm sure this is the good idea. But it's not going to matter now because they have so many Petsuchos that I won't really know if my strategy is working. So if you want to play a mode where you can spam laser crocs, do it here. It's not a guaranteed win. It used to be a guaranteed win. I think that you know, we could basically say this is the team's fault in not countering them well enough. I definitely didn't do it perfectly myself. I built very heavily against Petsobex, but I did not build heavily against their human units enough, probably. How are his units over there? I have no idea. I guess they did not aggro our final building there. This is not my base. We're going to make some Jarls. And we're going to get medium cavalry. Because this game is not over yet. As you will see. Well, hopefully it's not. They might just destroy us. Couldn't get enough gold to upgrade. It's possible that my allies had been holding on to gold. I don't know. I'm not going to review the replay. I had fun. A 30-minute game is good enough. And here we go, the majestic wave of wolves that if they had somewhat of a lower wave, somewhat of a smaller wave, would have saved our lives. It was just far too big for us. I did the previous game that I played, those wolves came out, they destroyed it, we ended up winning. It was awesome. So there are comeback mechanics. That one we lost pretty badly, but it's a fun game. Try it out. Hope to see you in the game. Until next time.